Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. Today on the program, a gathering of courageous individuals and survivors, raising awareness and giving hope in battling breast cancer. ICanServe Foundation's Alya Honasan and Mimi Martin tell us more in the program.
Yeah, we gonna go up. Ibibigay ko ang aking puso.
And later, this Pinoy boy group has nowhere to go but up.
Kung harapin ang lahat, yeah, kahit pa imposible.
Making waves for K-pop fans for their superb dancing and performing skills. SB19, up close and personal, live. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pinky Webb, an annual summit composed of cancer survivors, providing opportunities to strengthen friendships and partnerships. Staged by the ICanServe Foundation, the fourth Silver Lining event hopes to raise awareness and education on breast cancer. ICanServe is a non-government organization that promotes early breast cancer detection. Let's go straight to the sources of the story. We have breast cancer survivors, Alya Honasan and Mimi Martin. Alya and Mimi, good to meet you.
Hi, good to meet you. Thank you.
And congratulations for a full life.
Oh, yeah.
Diba?
Sure.
Tama ba sinabing living, surviving? What is the right term?
Surviving sounds a little like it's by the skin of your teeth. No?
Oo nga, diba?
Di naman. But let's just say that it's an elevated form of survivorship kasi you kind of learn to value your life a lot more. So you live in capital letters.
Yeah, you embrace life.
Yeah,
celebrate
very much
life.
so.
And I'm going to jump into that already because I read an article written by Alya with the Inquirer, and you said actually that it was then that you actually felt that you had more of a life, or you felt more alive after being diagnosed?
Well, I suppose when you live your life and then you take a lot of stuff for granted, and then when there's the possibility of that life being taken away from you, medyo, so your perspective is really changed. It's automatic, no, after you get a diagnosis. And then you learn to value all the little things, And if I get a parking space, I'm ecstatic na. I mean, thank you na. Diba?
So just a brief background. Alya was diagnosed in June 2013. Mimi, back in 2005.
Yes.
So 14 years.
14
Elevated survivor.
Correct. Ate na yan. Ate na yan. Yes. We always call it, we say that we survived starting on the day you were diagnosed.
Right.
So in terms of that, ate ko siya because she's a longer time survivor.
And Mimi was telling me when we were having our makeup done that it was very important for her, especially, I mean, you had a 10-year-old child when you were diagnosed,
Yes,
no?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes, and now he is in med school. I think he was inspired to become a doctor, actually, because of what I went through.
Wow, okay. That's nice.
We hear so many stories of, cancer survivors, and of course, unfortunately, some who do not make it. What is the best learning experience for somebody who, number one, I want to go first to having found out, and then number two, surviving it.
Okay. Have you found out? Well, I know Cara, who is the founder of ICanServe. I've known her for a long time. So as a journalist, I pretty much knew the theory, about breast cancer, how it's done. And then, bam, it hits you, Medyo, ka pa rin, medyo in shock ka pa rin slightly. But you already know that there's certain things you have to do. So you have to, well, in my case, I sort of like, checklist yan. 1, 2, 3, 4, I had to do these things. But still, of course, you get emotional. You get emotional, but it helps to focus, to stay positive, not to panic, actually. Like in her case, she's got a family. I'm single. So parang it's a different dynamic also. You rely a lot on other people aside from your family.
And I think you have to not be in denial. I
Guilty
do.
Were you in the beginning?
No, I wasn't.
No.
I had a 10-year-old. I can't be in denial, and I had to look at statistics. I mean, statistically, you have to go through certain treatments that can show a result. That, I mean, if you go herbal or alternative.
Yeah.
There's no statistics. So I don't want to go there. I want to go to make sure that what is the 5-year survival rate. So my son will be 15 by that time. You know, I was thinking of that. So I have to do what would give the best results.
Yeah.
And you did.
And I did.
It worked.
And I'm still alive.
Sabi nila, when you have to go through this, there has to be a change in lifestyle. But you were also saying that there has to be some sort of balance as well. Because
Yeah.
you can, by choice, it's totally up to you. You can go
Yeah.
completely healthy,
Right.
completely no sugar. Bahala ka din. But you were also saying, Alya, na kailangan, it's still your life, life to
no,
live.
I remember it was Cara who told me, I go, Cara, I'm never going to eat sugar again. None of this processed, none of this. And then she goes, yeah, whatever. And I didn't know what she meant. And then I realized later on, of course you try to make the good choices. Well, in my case, I'm pretty convinced that stress causes it. So try
Yeah.
to minimize that. But I always say, if somebody has a birthday and he offers me a birthday cake, I'm not gonna say no. I'm gonna eat it, di ba? I'm gonna do the fun stuff. But as long as you don't do anything stupid, you don't do anything self-destructive, but you live. You live, whatever living means to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of living and surviving is and thriving is actually to have that, to keep that joy in your life.
Yeah.
If having a glass of champagne
Yeah.
gives you joy, keep
Why
it.
not?
But don't drink like a whole bottle of
Not in
whiskey or
excess.
whatever.
Everything in
Yes.
moderation.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why
And-
survivors are pretty happy.
And always be very,
Happy people.
Are you happier people than the I mean, those who have not been diagnosed? And
I
would
don't know. I
you
like to
say
think
that?
so. I
Yes.
would say that. Yes,
You're-
for sure.
Yeah.
You
For
know,
me,
early on in your diagnosis, you're probably saying, that's ridiculous. It's lying. But after a while, only because maybe you open your eyes to what you have to be grateful for.
Right.
That's why you're happier.
Because mortality hits
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Hits you,
Because,
yeah.
life is terminal. We all die, but then you never really know it until it hits you. Because you always think, oh, I'm going to die at 85, 87, or, that's far, far away. Maybe 94 if you're,
Yeah.
And then before you know it, you're 50. And then you're 60.
And then you're
Yes.
60. And we lost a lot of friends already who
Yeah.
were young. Na
Yes.
parang you say, oh God, ang dami pa sana niyang nagawa. She could have done a lot more with her life. But well, she lost that fight, but not I wouldn't say the battle because, she went out smiling.
Yeah.
So, oh my God.
So on September 28th, there is a conference. And
Yes.
I read the whole day event, and it's very interesting. You talk about Cancer 101, you talk about holistic approach,
Yes.
you talk about so many things, what's
Yeah.
good to eat, Tell us more about that. What happens on September 28th?
September 28th is Silver Linings. There,
Yes.
sige, model. Okay, yeah.
It is.
It's Cara likes to call it a homecoming. So it's all of the cancer survivors are going to be together in one place, and then we're going to have little breakaway talks on different subjects, so that everybody wants to understand it a little more. So it's really not just for people who've survived, people who've been touched by it, So you learn little things. I mean, some of the most current topics we have now is that stage 4 cancer isn't as much of a death sentence as it used to be. There's depression after cancer. You can take care of
Right.
your skin. You can journal, all kinds of things. Father Orbos is there. He's a cancer survivor.
I know.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's been such a supporter. He's such a doll, I swear.
I love how Father Jerry Orbo said it. Focus on the humor and not the tumor.
yeah.
And focus on Christ and not the cross.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sobra siyang
So it's a whole day event, but it's not just for survivors.
No,
It's
no,
also
no.
those who are who push and who
Yes.
are
Yes,
advocates
Yeah.
rather.
A lot of the stress goes to caregivers, the champions. So the family is there. There's a lecture on how to survive and hope as a caregiver, and there's also financial resources,
which is,
try to find out how to get financial support,
Yeah.
which is very important for
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because that's another cause of stress.
Yes.
May
Super.
sakit ka na,
Yeah.
definitely you need
Mahal pa.
financial support. Mahal
Yes.
pa.
mahal,
Yeah.
mahal. It's
Yes.
expensive. Cancer treatment in this
Yeah.
country
Yeah.
is expensive.
A lot of times, if you're depressed, if you're not very rich, if you have financial problems, you don't even want to be diagnosed because you feel like I'm gonna die anyway.
That's
Might as
it.
well not know.
Yeah.
And October is Breast Cancer Month,
Month, yes,
right?
yeah.
And Alya and Mimi were telling, well, me and all of us, all of us women out there, it's really good to have yourself checked and do
Yes.
self-check as
Yes,
well.
every
Because
single- Yes.
early detection is key.
Oh,
Yes.
definitely.
That's the
Yeah.
main mission of ICanServe. If you check yourself, you can avoid all of this expensive stuff.
Yeah,
if you find it early,
right. 7
Yeah.
days after your period begins, or
Yeah.
8 days after, then you do monthly self-examination from the armpit to the breast,
Yeah, yeah.
So it's I found out through that.
Yeah.
And
That's how you found out.
yeah,
huh?
that's how I found out.
But
Yeah.
Alya, no, not you.
No, I mean, no, I just was just ignoring it, and then turns out, yeah, it was a neglect on my part. I was late for a mammo for 2 years, and then boom, that's where it was. So
That's why.
That's why they tell you self-exam, and then you get somebody also to
Correct.
palpate you
Yes.
later on, and then the mammo comes a little
Right.
later when you're
So
older.
those three things
Yes, yes.
are key. So this is going to happen again on September 28th. Please invite
Yes.
our viewers who may be interested.
Yes, please. Not only if you're a survivor, if you have been touched by disease, if you're curious about anything, and if you can register early. I'm just getting the phone
Yeah,
numbers
please.
also. Yeah, yeah. So it's 636-5578 if you want to call, or ICanServeFoundation.org. And then please register early if you'd like to come. And then this is, again, it's open for everybody.
Right.
Please register early so that there's not a big crowd. We're expecting quite a number of people. It'll be fun.
Yes.
And before you go, I'd like to ask you maybe just, one, I don't know, maybe the best learning lesson, an inspiration from the two of you to all of us.
Me, never give up hope. I mean, that is the one thing that if you give up on, it's going to be a downward spiral. I mean, just hang in there.
Hope springs
Yes.
eternal.
I was so sold, I had it tattooed on myself.
What is that?
Everything is a gift.
gift.
Oh.
Everything is a gift. Absolutely everything.
Everything.
So, gives you a nice perspective.
You know, when you start your morning, opening your eyes really and waking up, that alone is the
a
first gift.
Yeah,
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alya and Mimi, thank you so much.
you
And
very
again,
much,
on
Pinky.
September 28th, please join them and the rest of not just the survivors, but those who are advocating also
Yes, okay.
breast cancer awareness.
Yes, awareness.
There's so many
Awareness is
stars
key.
who
they're
Agot
talking.
Isidro,
Yeah, Lea, Salonga, Agot.
our colleagues, Mitzi Borromeo,
Yes, Mitzi
also
also.
part of
Dami.
that. And again, congratulations to both of you for
Thank
living
you.
your life to the fullest.
Yes, thank you very much.
And thank you for being here. Thank you to Alya Honasan and Mimi Martin. We'll be taking a short break. Up next, the news. Pinoy group sensation SB19. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned.